Hello, this is Jeff Malone, the X is Silent, here with a review of the February 16th, 2013 episode of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Christoph Waltz with musical guest Alabama Shakes. Had a couple of great sketches in this episode. We had Tippy, played by Nasim Pedrad, as a character who joins in at the middle or end of conversations and wants a recap of what was so funny or what's being talked about, and then when the other people try to explain what they were talking about, she never lets them finish the story and throws in these wild suggestions like there was a midget in a little outfit, or the present was a big old dildo or something, or her boobs were sticking out, she was Chinese or something, and it's an annoying habit of some people. Trying to what just happened in the conversation, and this was but at least she has enjoyably crazy ideas. That Tippy could be a recurring sketch, I think. I've been surprised to find out, reading other reactions of this episode, that most people haven't seemed to like Tippy sketch as much as I did. I don't know why. Some people said it was too similar to Penelope, Kristen Wiig's classic character, or a few other things, or Nasim's other awkward characters. I don't know. I laughed at everything she said. And the other great sketch came right after Tippy, so great 1-2 punch was Jesus Uncrossed, the new revisionist historical movie from Quentin Tarantino. This was just about as perfect sketch as SNL could possibly do. And not necessarily the best. It's not necessarily what I mean when I say perfect, but they got everything right in going for what they were going for here. The good sketches, a bunch of good. The Carnival Cruise Ride cold opening, throw out a bunch of lines and see what sticks, and a few of them did stick. Christoph's monologue. His song was interesting, but it was mainly funny. I laughed the most at the "Who's on worst" line. Other people seemed to have liked the casual Hitler, which was funny enough for me, but I liked "Who's on worst" more. Let's see, what have you become? An unusual game show sketch from SNL, in that Bill Hader did not play the host. But also in that it was a little, it was unusual. I liked the line about game show school, and Christoph's host character had been forced to go to game show school as a child. Papal Securities commercial was, it was a little predictable, but it hit enough right notes. And Pope-based punnery is generally a winner. The Jmarcus brothers with Keenan and Jay Farrow as two smooth soul brothers, literally brothers, and then they're joined by their adopted virgin brother Engelbert, is played by Christoph. That was pretty good setup there. All three of the weekend update segments were solid and got a B+ from me. Taryn as Marco Rubio. Again, another obvious bit for this episode, but reaching for the glass of water. But it worked. Kate McKinnon as the Russian villager Olya Pavlotsky. Bear with me. Lots of great puns in this episode. And then Jay returned with his Stephen A. Smith. And It's nice to find out that Dwight Howard and his family have vacationed on his forehead. Fox and Friends, always a welcome. Enjoyed the Brian Kilmeade eating his passport and thinking that his pancake was his passport, which you need when you go to IHOP. And then the Secret Admirer was a solid 10-to-1 sketch. Then mediocre. Seth's one update was just about mediocre, which is usually as good as you can expect from him, so that's not going to get you any complaints out of me. And then Regine, not something we really need to have seen brought back, but, you know, there's... I'm not... If it were just Fred making faces when he gets touched in various parts of his body, you know, and then him just being in drag, if that's all it were, then it would be a bad sketch. But the Regine is this bizarrely snobbish character, like, you know, throws out lines like, "What are we talking about? Reproductive rights?" And if you guys read that article and then doesn't give any further explanation, it works out well enough for me anyway. And no bad sketches. And then Alabama Shakes. And saw those performances. You know I don't need to say anymore. No. Overall, I give this episode 9 out of 10 Jeffs. Quite possibly the best of the season. Really, nothing to complain about, at least not overly. Yeah. Then, okay, we got a week off, and we come back with a new episode on March 2nd with Kevin Hart and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Which, that lineup intrigues me, so I will be watching that episode, as usual, and I will see you in a couple weeks, and